Hello and welcome to my channel. Today I want to talk a little bit about dating without a purpose versus dating with a purpose. Uh, right off the top, I want to say there's nothing wrong with dating either way. It is whatever works for those two people. And as long as they're both on the same page and they are both aware that that's what they're doing, it's absolutely fine. Dating without a purpose, there's no harm in that. As long as both people in the scenario are good with that. As long as that they both want that same thing. I want to touch on the dating with a purpose because it seems that many women are unaware that they need something, they need some things from the man if they want to have a chance of dating with a purpose that leads to a long-term relationship, that leads to a marriage or not. If you want a long-term committed relationship, it doesn't always have to end in marriage because maybe the two people don't want to be married, but they want to be together. That's fine. If you have two people who are married, who are looking to be married, then that's also fine. So again, whatever works with the two people, they have to both be on the same page. So the first thing, if you are dating with a purpose, that you must have from the man that you're looking at is he must be legally available. Legally available means that includes divorced, single, and widowed men. It does not include separated men. Separated men should be the men you date without a purpose if you want to do that. Separated men, why you should not date separated men if you are looking for a relationship that leads to a long-term relationship and a committed long-term relationship with or without marriage. The reason why you should not be dating separated men is because number one, they're not out of what they're in something. They're not out of what they already were in. They're already married on paper. Number two is if they've spent any time with that woman, 5 years, 7 years, 12 years, 15, 20 years or more, we sometimes lose ourselves when we are married for that number of years to a person, and we don't necessarily know who we are or what we want because we've kind of conformed. You just kind of lose yourself. Not everyone, but that can happen. And when you've been married that long, you do need to give that person time to unpack their baggage and to kind of just take some time to themselves to figure out who they are and how they want to move forward. And that's a smart thing. So that's why a man who is legally available is necessary if you say that you are looking for a long-term committed relationship leading to marriage or not. That you need him to be legally available already. Because a divorce could go on for a couple of years. I mean, divorce can go back and forth and go to court for a couple of years. And why would you date someone that you're dealing with like that? Because they still haven't also had the period to themselves to kind of decide who they are and how they want to move forward. The second thing that is important for the man, these are critical to have, is an emotional intelligence or an emotional maturity. That does not mean the man is immature. That isn't what I'm saying. That also doesn't mean he's not intelligent. He could be very intelligent and mature. I'm specifically talking about emotional maturity. Emotional maturity allows a deeper connection between the two people. If both people are emotionally intelligent, it allows for a deeper connection because you're both aware of your emotions. They're on track. It allows for more effective communication because you're able to talk to the person without fear of judgment, without thinking that they're tearing you down because that's what a person who's not emotionally intelligent, they think that you're attacking them when you're having some conversations with them. Again, you're going to have unpleasant conversations in a monogamous, long-term, committed relationship. You're going to have unpleasant conversations. So how does the person handle that feedback? How do they handle it? Emotionally intelligent people are able to have that conversation without fear of reprisal, without getting angry, without thinking that you are attacking their character, because that isn't what you're doing. So that's why you need emotional intelligence. The other reason why you need emotional intelligence from your partner is so that they can support you emotionally. There has to be an emotional connection between the two people in order for that relationship to have a chance at surviving and going the distance. It has to be. If you don't have that emotional connection, you won't be able to discuss things like I just mentioned, and you won't be able to support her, and she won't be able to support you emotionally. And you are going to need that emotional support. As life's, you're going to need emotional support from your partner. And so they need to be emotionally intelligent or emotionally mature to be able to do so. The third thing that you absolutely need if you are looking at going into a long-term relationship that leads to or does not lead to marriage is the person has to be financially fit. They have to be financially responsible. That simply means that they need to be able to meet all of their financial obligations, whatever those are. They have to meet every one of them on their own and be able to date. Dating isn't free. It does cost to date. So they have to be able to have money to spare and to spend after meeting all of their financial obligations. Now, that doesn't mean you can't take him out. That doesn't mean you can't treat him sometimes. That isn't what I'm saying. But he's got to be able to handle all of his financial obligations, because if you are going to be in a long-term committed relationship, guess what? He has to be able to add to that. He has to be able to add value to your life just as you add value to his. It's not one-sided. So if he can't financially meet his own obligations and take you out, he's not ready for a relationship. It doesn't make him a bad person. It makes him not able to be financially responsible enough to take you out. And he has to be able to take you out. That's a part of dating. So he must have financial fitness and be able to have money to spare to go out and have a good time, take you out. Otherwise, he would not be able to enhance your life if you two got together in a long-term relationship leading to marriage and living under one household, even if it didn't lead to marriage. Like I said, everybody wants something different. So if that's what works for the two people and they don't want to be married but they want to live in the same house, he still has to be able to enhance your life by being able to meet obligations, all of his own personal ones, along with what you two have together. So, ladies, he can't have one of these things and not the other two, and you say, well, I think I'm going to work with him. No, he has to have all three. He has to be legally available. He has to be emotionally intelligent or mature. He has to be financially fit, because you won't even have a chance of having that type of relationship, because we're talking long-term successful relationship. We're not talking about a relationship where you get together and you both together can't even make it. That's not what we're talking about. That's not what I'm talking about. So you want to make sure that you have these traits. These are 3 things you're looking for if, only if, you're looking for a relationship that leads to a long-term marriage or long-term relationship. It does not have to lead to a marriage if that's not what the 2 people want. If you want that, then you have to be honest with yourself and say, okay, these are the things that I need him to have. Now, there's obviously other things that he has to be able to do and have. These are just the 3 critical ones that you should not even start thinking about having a relationship with him. A date is one thing, a relationship is something else. You shouldn't even have the thoughts of having a relationship with a man who does not have these 3 things, because you won't have a foundation, and you won't have a chance at success because you're fooling yourself. So as long as you're being honest with yourself and know what it is that you want, and he has these 3 things, if you're looking to date with a purpose, if he has these 3 things, obviously the other things that you need him to have, he has to have those too. But these are the 3 that shouldn't even be negotiable. These are non-negotiables, that he has to have these 3. Because if he doesn't have the emotional intelligence, it's gonna be a problem for you. It's gonna be an issue for you as you continue to go on, because he needs that in order for you all to navigate and have that emotional connection. So let me know what you think. Leave me any comments, and I'll see you next time.